Hi, welcome to the Gamesplainer. I'm Jeff the Gamesplainer, and today I'm gamesplaining Blood Bowl. So, it's been a year since I did my original video for Blood Bowl. I have not managed to play this game much. It still sits at the top of my games that I love. It didn't make my top 10 at the end of last year because I just hadn't played it enough. I still love it. I still have it highly rated. I think it's a wonderful game. We're talking about 4th edition at the moment. I still only own 3rd edition, but I've got the rules manuals for 4th edition because there is a download now. I still find the same problems with the app that I found previously. They haven't fixed that up. They have released a second expansion module book, but you know what? I looked through it, I had a read of it, and it just seems like an expansion for the sake of an expansion. There's not a whole bunch going on in it. Games Workshop is continually releasing new teams and new boards to try and keep bringing more money in. And that's cool, that's great. People are still wanting those teams that they've been playing for years and can't get their hands on yet because they haven't been released. That's fine, they'll eventually get there. I have no doubt they'll eventually bring them out so people can play them. What else am I doing with Blood Bowl? Other than not getting it to the table much, why don't I get it to the table? The reason I don't get to the table is I really like playing with lots of players. And so Blood Bowl is a 2-player game. It's going to take a couple of hours with just 2 players. So you need to put forward a single date and go, we are playing Blood Bowl on this date, you and me. I don't get to do that much at the moment. I tend to go, okay, how many people can I get into the room and play all these Euro games? And that's a lot of fun. I really enjoy that. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to develop a league somewhere, and I've actually called it the Sydney Blood Bowl League. So if you haven't heard of that, look us up. We're on Facebook. Join that group. Once I get some games up or some different locations sorted out, I will let everyone on that Facebook page know that this is happening, this is a thing, and this is the location, and this is when we'll be playing. I'm just working on that in the background. So please, that's just putting that forward. If you're in Sydney, join the Sydney Blood Bowl League, and there will be some league play coming. And I think that's what I really like about Blood Bowl is the league play. The element of, I do something in this game is going to directly affect what's happening in future games. It's almost the legacy idea and campaign idea that comes in on other games. So legacy that's only come in the last couple of years. It's that, but in an old mini game. I still have this nostalgia to the game. I don't know if I would love the game as much if I came to it now. I think I would, but I don't know. There's elements of this game which are contradictory to a lot of the stuff I've been saying on this YouTube channel. So whenever we're talking about dice, I've got this thing where I go, there's dice in this game, and I either, I really like this big dice game and we're rolling heaps of dice and that's fun, or we roll the dice and I really dislike that. Blood Bowl is a dice game in essence. Like, yes, it's a miniatures on the field game, but you're rolling dice so much. Every time you do something, you're rolling the dice to see if you can do it. That is output randomness. That is something that I have disliked on most games that show up with output randomness. However, I really like it on this game. Why? What's the difference? I think I've worked out what the difference is, and this is where the real fine line on what will cause me to like or dislike a dice game. It's the fact that you have the ability to work out your chances of a successful roll, and then you manipulate your gameplay so that you have the best possible opportunity to roll well. If I've got a choice between doing something that's going to be really easy and will only fail if I roll a 1 against something that's really hard and I need to roll 3 6s in a row, I'm probably going to do that thing that needs a 2+ first, because as soon as I fail a dice roll, I'm more than likely going to have to turn over and it's the other person's turn. So what we end up doing is looking at the overall play or the overall field and going, okay, these are the actions I need to do. I'm prioritizing these actions, but within that I'm going, which ones are going to be easier? There's a higher chance of success, and so I will try them first unless it's really important. So if there's one play I can do, I'm on the final turn of the game, and that one play could get me a touchdown, I'm more than likely to try and do that one play where I've got to run a guy, hand off the ball, run a guy, throw the ball, catch the ball from deep in cover, so I've got lots of negatives and I've just got to hit 6s and 6s and 6s and then to run over the line. I'm probably going to try that out if it's the last turn of the game or of the half. But if I've got the option of doing that or at an earlier point in the half, or I can just run some guys over here and set up something else over there and then try it. I'm probably going to do the other stuff first on earlier games. So there's a lot of different understanding mechanism that goes on and thought process that goes on with this game, and that's the stuff I really like. That's the reason I keep coming back to this game. The tactic of it against the randomness, not because of the randomness, is what I really like in the game. So having to actually think about the randomness and how I can manipulate that to my best potential, it makes the game. I think that's actually why I really like it. So that's Blood Bowl. If you haven't watched my other videos, please go back and watch them. Get a feel for it. If you've never played Blood Bowl or come across it, have a look into it. I personally think it's an awesome game and should be looked at. If you're a person who really hates mini games, it may not be for you. If you're someone who hates war games but really loves Euros and likes the idea of dice rolls, it might be a game for you. It's one of those kind of in-between games. It's definitely in that roll to resolve kind of area and wargaming kind of area, but it's also very different and far more tactical than a lot of the other games I've come across. So have a look at it. If you've got any comments or suggestions, please write them below. If you have any games that you wish to be gamesplaned, please shoot me an email at thegamesplainer@gmail.com. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at thegamesplainer to see what games I've been playing. Subscribe to my videos to keep up to date with the games that I'm gamesplaining. And until next time, enjoy gaming.